Fridays are awesome. Welcome to CNN Student News. Today, the partial government shutdown over. The possible U.S. debt ceiling crisis averted for now. Late Wednesday night, Congress voted on the deal and approved it. Early Thursday morning, President Obama signed it. As the day moved forward, things in Washington started returning to normal. Federal employees who were furloughed, sent home without pay, were back at work yesterday. The deal says they'll get back pay to cover what they missed while they were furloughed. Most national parks and landmarks like the Everglades in Florida had been closed since the shutdown started. They're back open now and accepting visitors. Keep in mind, the deal passed this week is temporary. It funds the government until January. It raises the debt ceiling until February. So after it was passed, leaders of the House and Senate budget committees got together to start the next round of negotiations. When you hear the word slavery, you might just think of it as something from history. The U.S. Civil War decided the issue here, and today slavery is illegal in every single country. But right now, worldwide, there are more slaves than at any other time in history. Modern-day slavery isn't always the same as the images you see in textbooks. It includes human trafficking, forced labor, child exploitation, forced marriage. A new report used a decade of research to offer the latest information on slavery and its victims.
Sadly, in 2013, their stories are far more prevalent than you'd expect. 29.8 million. That's the staggering estimate of how many people around the world are living as modern-day slaves, according to Walk Free Foundation. The number is cited in the Foundation's Global Slavery Index, which for the first time provides a map, country by country, of the depth and breadth of the scourge. These 10 countries account for 76% of the world's enslaved people. China, Russia, Nigeria, Pakistan are all in there. But India, the world's second most populous nation, has by far the highest number of slaves, estimated at between 13 and 14.5 million people.
A lot of experts would say that's a conservative number. India has a massive problem with forced labour, bonded labour. There are whole communities that are forced to work on brick kilns or forced to work in stone quarries. Kids who are working in carpet factories. So it's a massive problem.
But the index found that it is Mauritania, which was the last country to outlaw slavery in 1961, where the problem is most prevalent. With an estimated 1 in 5 citizens bonded to a master, tradition is proving hard to break.
Teachers, for more information about the fight against modern-day slavery, check out the Freedom Project link on our homepage. Next up today, shooting stars. They're meteors, and when they hit the Earth's atmosphere, they can cause serious problems, like the one that exploded over Russia earlier this year. After waiting for months, scientists are getting their hands on what they think is a piece of that one. You'll hear that it weighs more than 570 kilograms. For reference, that's more than 1,250 pounds.
This was the scene back in February as a massive meteor streaked across the sky. Turning night into day, the fireball sent shockwaves across Russia, shattering windows, injuring some 1,200 people, and causing millions of dollars in damage. Scientists say fragments of the space rock crash landed here, beneath the ice of this frozen lake near the city of Chelyabinsk. Now, 8 months later, the ice is gone. And on Wednesday, in an operation covered live on Russian TV, divers entered the murky water. At the bottom of the lake, they found what is believed to be the largest single fragment of the meteorite. The 1.5-meter-long boulder was dragged ashore, then weighed, where it literally tipped, then broke the scales.
If it weighs more than 500 kilograms, then the object is unique in itself and is likely to be one of the biggest meteorites ever found.
The suspected space rock crumbled into several chunks, but still weighed in at more than 570 kilograms. Now, scientists want to confirm this is indeed the meteorite they've been searching for.
The initial visual survey, which we are talking about now, doesn't give us 100% certainty. We still need to conduct more research, a structural analysis, and other tests.
When it entered Earth's atmosphere, scientists estimate the meteor weighed about 10,000 tons. It's just a fraction of that size now, but scientists seem confident they've made an out-of-this-world discovery. Aisha Sasay, CNN.
It's time for the shout out. Which of these countries is on the Iberian Peninsula? If you think you know it, then shout it out. Is it Italy, South Korea, Yemen, or Spain? You've got 3 seconds. Go. The Iberian Peninsula is in southwestern Europe and is occupied by Portugal and Spain. That's your answer, and that's your shout out.
There are 4 time zones in the contiguous United States. Spain has 1, and Spanish officials are thinking about changing it. They're considering going back in time 1 hour. In Spain, many workers take long lunch breaks or midday siestas. They tend to eat late, leave work late, and go to bed late. A report says shifting the country's time zone could make a major difference.
Autumn may have arrived, but here in Madrid, workers are still enjoying their outdoor lunch breaks as if summer had never left. Not even the music can disturb their public napping. Just a few kilometers down the road at Studio Banana, when it's time for a siesta, they use this.
The ostrich pillow is a product which is devised for sleeping. This kind of came about because we were spending a lot of time working in the studio, so we thought to ourselves, why don't we create a product that allows us to sleep anywhere?
Their product is in many ways a wake-up call for workers who tend to leave work, eat and go to bed later than their European counterparts. But that's about to change. The government says it's considering turning back the clocks by an hour. Spanish dictator General Franco moved Spain from Greenwich Mean Time in 1942 to follow his ally Nazi Germany. Since then, Spain has been 1 hour ahead of GMT during the winter and 2 hours ahead in the summer. And that reportedly cost the economy as much as 8% of GDP because of lost productivity.
Hace 71 años que España.
For 71 years, we have been on the wrong clock. So we are recommending a more flexible work schedule so that the days don't finish any later than 5 p.m. and that lunch won't last for more than 40 minutes.
Advice that has been taken up by Studio Banana.
The working lunch here has been reduced to 45 minutes, but it's still an important part of their working day. Over a paella, they can really bounce ideas off each other. It's this model that many say Spain should adopt because it means they have more time to spend with their families, they sleep longer, and they're less lethargic at work. All in all, more productive.
Well, if you're already on Facebook, you might have noticed that our Facebook page topped 100,000 likes this week. Very happy about that. So to say thank you, all of today's Roll Call Schools come from requests we received on Facebook. We're going to start in Wellsburg, West Virginia with the Bruins from Brook High, heading down to Texas to check in with the Magnolia Junior High Bulldogs, and up to Illinois where the Tigers from Elmwood Park High School round out today's roll call. Halloween is less than 2 weeks away. We're giving you a chance to show off your holiday creativity. We're talking pumpkins. If you're 13 or older, you can send us an iReport with pictures of your best jack-o'-lanterns. If you want a chance to get on our show, you have to get your iReport in by October 28th. All the details at cnnstudentnews.com. And speaking of pumpkins, we've got a whopper for you. When you need a forklift and special harness to get your pumpkin up on the scale, you've got a monster. This thing checked in at 1,985 pounds. Goodness gracious, that's nearly a full ton. It took first place at this pumpkin weigh-off and beat last year's champ by a good 200 pounds. Sent its grower home with nearly $13,000 too. If he decides to invest that in growing another one for next year, you could definitely consider that seed money. We make our share of bad puns, but you can't deny that was a gourd one. Have a gourd weekend, everybody.